Good morning, McHarg friends. Today is Monday, February 10th, 2025.
Yes, it is.
My name is Kennedy.
My name is Kinsey.
And my name is Mr. Keister.
Today's moment of silence is heart breath. Breathe in through your nose for the top of the heart and and out for the bottom.
You got it. All right, here we go. Good job.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the McHarg pledge.
I am an exceptional bobcat. I am respectful. I follow directions the first time. I send kind messages and listen with my heart. I help take care of my school. I am safe. I keep myself to myself. I use school tools correctly. I only travel where I have permission. I am peaceful. I keep my body under control. I use a calm voice. I work cooperatively. I am an exceptional bobcat.
Today's weather is
Cloudy with a high temperature of 45 degrees.
Do you think we're going to get some snow tonight? Fingers crossed, maybe?
Happy birthdays wishes go to
Wah, wah, wah. No birthdays today. Announcements! All right, growing as a friend plan, guys. In honor of Virginia Kindness Week, let's watch for our day today. Simple acts of kindness. This is a perfect addition to our goal this month of growing as friends. Growing as a friend. Step 1, use kind words. Step 2, be helpful. Step 3, encourage others. And step 4, be a good listener. Step 5, compromise. So let's keep practicing. We will be the best of friends soon. All right, attendance heroes. All right, shout out goes to first grade for having the highest attendance percentage this past week with 97%, not only at McHarg, but for every grade in the city of Radford. Wow, good job, first grade. All right, also fantastic to Miss Bondurant and Miss McMurray's classes for having 100% attendance for the past week. McHarg also had the highest percentage of attendance between all schools in the city of Radford. It's a great way to start the month of February. Keep it up, guys. Shout outs! All right, we're working for 50 shout outs this month so we can bring a stuffed friend to school. So if you hear your name, come down to the Tinker Tank and get your picture taken. All right, so the first shout out goes to CJ Starks because he was flexible picking centers. And this is coming from Miss Steele, and your teacher is Miss Watson. All right, the next shout out goes to Junior McGraw because when the center he wanted was full, he was flexible and moved to another center. Again, coming from Miss Steele, and your teacher's Miss Watson. The next shout out goes to Riker Nolan because he always shows respect by keeping his voice off when others are talking. Way to go. And this is coming from Miss B, who is your teacher. The next shout out goes to Zakai Smoot because he always shows focus and self-control during learning time. Way to go. And this is coming from Miss B, who is your teacher. So if you guys heard your name, come on down to the Tinker Tank. It's time for our One School, One Book, so I'm out of here.
Well, hello. All right. So first, what do we have to do?
we have to pick 8 cards.
8 cards. What? I thought it was 80. Just kidding. There can't be that many winners. All right. So I'm going to let you pick one first.
What was the question?
Oh, sorry. What was the question? Do you remember?
What did Ugg do to the It's something about that.
Yeah, what did Humphrey do to Marty on the bus?
What did Humphrey do to Marty on the bus that caused quite a stir? All right, let's see who our winners are today.
Teacher's Miss Church. Ella.
So it's Mila from Miss Church. He jumped out of his cage. And do you remember where he jumped onto?
His knee.
He was on his leg, on his knee. All right. So that's one winner. Let's see who else we got.
Teacher Miss Church.
All right. The teacher's Miss Church, and the name is Montana in Miss Church's class.
Montana.
All right. We're going to shake it up a little bit. And another one. Let's see who we got.
Brooklyn from Miss World.
Miss World's class, Brecklin. Awesome. Yep, so that is in Miss Penn's class, and that is Aaliyah. Are we? Yay, Aaliyah! Very good.
Zane.
In Miss Dobson's class.
Good
Way to go,
job.
Zane. Asher.
In Miss
In
Johnston's
Miss Johnston's class. Is that 6? I want to say that's 6. All right, so you can each do one more.
Atlee.
In Miss Muncie's class. Way to go, Atlee. Miss McMurray.
Miss McMurray, Ellie.
Ellie? Yay, Ellie! Awesome! All right, so let's put this to the side for now. All right, so if you just had your name drawn and you were a winner, Miss Wheeler will bring you your prize later today. Right now, we're going to talk about Chapter 5, and it was called Rhyme Time. I love a good rhyme, and I have to really concentrate to say the words rhyme time, because in my area, it would have been rhyme time. And you all know the way I speak, but it's okay. All right, so this chapter was all about poetry. The students were trying to write poems, and who were they mostly writing about? Do you remember?
They were trying to figure out one for Humphrey.
They were trying to figure out one for Humphrey, and we did some stuff with Og. So one student, I love that they wrote a poem using F-R-O-G, which spells out frog. And then some people were having trouble writing their poem because they weren't using the right number of lines, and they were just trying to get it done quickly, and they weren't really taking their time or doing their best work, and that's not always the right thing. And then somebody who is maybe having a harder time making friends because they're so shy. Do you remember who that is? Who's our new friend? Starts with a T. Do you remember? Tabitha. She is having a really hard time kind of coming out of her shell. She's like a little turtle, and she's having a hard time coming out of her shell. And she does stand up, and she reads her poem. And she kind of reads it, I'm going to talk all in one breath, and I'm going to say it really quietly, and I don't want to stop for anything because I just want to be done, and I want to go sit down, and everybody stop looking at me. Because that's kind of the way that you feel when you get nervous. Maybe sometimes you talk a little bit faster, and you don't really want to take a pause because all you want to do is get it done and then go sit down. So I am going to ask a trivia question here in a minute. I don't want to get too much into Tabitha's thing, but I do want to talk about the end of the chapter where Humphrey is really, really digging deep and trying hard to become friends with who?
Frog.
The frog, whose name is?
Og.
Og. So can Og talk? Does he talk to Humphrey and have conversation?
He doesn't talk. Maybe he's like Tabitha.
Maybe he's kind of like Tabitha. Maybe he's a little bit shy. Sometimes Og has different ways of communicating. Maybe he'll do what in like his little pond. What does he like? He likes to splash. What noise does he like to make a lot?
Boing.
Boing, boing. So one of my favorite parts is that Humphrey is such a good problem solver. We have talked about ways to be a good friend, and we also have talked a lot about making a plan B when plan A doesn't work out. So Humphrey is kind of like, oh my gosh, I cannot figure out a way to get on the same page with this little frog dude. So he starts to come up with ideas of, maybe we're not speaking the same language, but maybe we can find some type of activity that we could do together. So maybe you and I, maybe we don't always like the same things, but maybe we both like the same song or something. And I'm kind of like, you know what? We don't even have to talk. We can just be vibing. We can just dance and it's fine. But I love how Humphrey was a great problem solver, and he was brainstorming different ways that they could have fun as friends, because he sees everybody in the classroom kind of like they have like their little buddies and things, and he really wants a friend, and he's trying to bring Og out of his shell. And then at the main of the chapter, who comes in to do his cleaning and talks to the animals?
Arthur.
So close. Aldo. One of my favorite characters. And I think I even said that when I read this chapter, was that Aldo was one of my favorites. And he is talking to Humphrey and to a little bit to Og, but mostly to Humphrey because, besties, they go way back. And he is talking about something that he wants to do in the future. And he's kind of like, I'm not really so sure. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know if I can do this. Do you remember what Aldo was thinking about doing? He had gotten an application.
Getting another job and
So
getting a wife, a house.
Yeah, so he's thinking about going back to school. He's thinking about applying to the city college, because Aldo, we can tell, is a very smart man. He's a very hard worker, and he's thinking about going back to school and maybe getting a college degree. But he's not sure about it yet, because sometimes it's really scary to try new things and to step out of our comfort zone, right? Which is kind of the theme of this chapter, because Tabitha's scared, Og is scared, all the things. So that brings me to my trivia question today. We're not going to say the answer, okay? When Tabitha has finished reading her poem and they're getting ready to go outside for recess, there is one friend in room 26 that tries to come up to Tabitha and talk to her and make friends with her, and Tabitha's still really having a hard time opening up to this friend, even though it's somebody that she can kind of relate to. So my question is, who is the friend in room 26 that tries to make friends with Tabitha? What do you think? Dun, dun, dun. All right.
Be safe.
Be respectful.
And be peaceful. Thanks and have a great day.
Oh crap, I said.